I tried to visit the Church of Scientology, but
we weren't allowed to video record inside. They wouldn't let us do that.
yeah, that happened. But I still had so many questions about Scientology, and luckily, off camera, I was able to get some answers. I'm LT, and this is Backpack Religion. Scientology is arguably one of the most controversial religions in America, and that's largely for three reasons. One, many people question if it's really a religion. Two, it has allegedly shady financial dealings. And three, many call it a modern day cult, and some allegedly claim that it is abusive. Again, allegedly. This is all alleged. All that to say, it hasn't had a very positive reputation in the eye of the public, despite the fact that the Church of Scientology has actually had a lot of big name members such as Tom Cruise and John Travolta. It's important to note though, I don't think they are associated with the church anymore, but I'm not sure. Because the Church of Scientology is such a boogeyman in the public sphere, I wanted to learn more about what they believe and profess, and also, and very importantly, learn what makes them a religion. And of course, the best way to do that is to visit them myself. So that's what I did. I visited the Church of Scientology in good old Philadelphia.
We are in Philly right now.
I'm going this way. It's this way.
What you're the one telling me. You're the one telling me what to do.
Just look for the sign that says Scientology.
Is there a sign that says Scientology?
Probably. I don't know. Do they openly advertise it? Is that legal for them?
Sure
it's
it
probably
is.
that building with the white dot.
That is definitely not the building. That is Benjamin Franklin.
It's got to be the building.
Dude, lovely city of Philadelphia.
It's a 5-minute walk straight ahead.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Right where the cops are.
Yeah,
Great.
we're all for Sunday service, they have a police force out front.
Apparently Scientology is open from like 9 to 6 on Sundays. Which, it almost sounds like a business center than anything else when you say it like that.
I mean, there's a lot of arguments over whether or not they should be a church, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's been a debate for a while. A lot of people think they shouldn't get,
Tax break.
and stuff like that. But they do.
It's always about the money. Deep down.
I really don't know what I'm looking for.
Should be big building on the left.
Big building.
There used to be the building with all the squigglies on the side. I wanted it to be that one.
Scientology, I see it.
Where?
It's that squiggly building.
It is?
It's one of the two. There's two things in there, it looks like.
It's smaller than I imagined.
It honestly is. Oh. This building is it. Hubbard Dynamics Foundation and the Church of Scientology.
Oh, so these are their two?
These are the two things, yeah. Because Hubbard Dynamic or whatever is the guy who like started Scientology or something like that.
Are they closed today?
They open at 9.
No. Temporary police parking though.
So this is the place. All right, we got 5 minutes before Scientology opens.
Before we convert, yep.
Bruh. I mean, I don't plan on doing that, but so we'll see what it's like when we get inside. I don't know how they feel about video cameras inside, so I don't know how much footage I'll get inside, but I'll try to get as much as I can.
All right.
So there we go. We just left the Scientology building, so like we weren't allowed to video record inside. They wouldn't let us do that. We had like basically an hour and a half, 2-hour discussion with that guy I saw. But we got there at like 9:30.
I left at, what was it now, 11?
Yeah.
11:30. So yeah, solid 2 hours.
The guy that we talked to was the events director of the Scientology building for like 10 years. So I figure he was like kind of like the head honcho. But he was a nice guy.
It is dope. What was his name?
I actually don't know.
I don't remember his name.
I never asked, but I didn't figure I would use his name anyway, probably, because I was just like,
we'll call him Fred.
We'll call him
Fred.
Fred.
Yeah,
So-
remember? We used it was Fred. It's Fred. Yeah.
We'll just call him Fred.
Our guy Fred.
And he just kind of showed us around a little bit and basically gave us a history of Scientology and stuff like that. I'll probably tell you more when I'm in my like office space, so I don't have to deal with the bad audio. I will give more of my thoughts when I get back to my office.
I want you to deal with the bad audio.
I tried to get a camera inside, but I wasn't allowed to record anything once you crossed the door. Although I did get this massive book by L. Ron Hubbard. He's the founder of Scientology, but I think I'm getting ahead of myself. So I will share with you the 5 biggest things I learned, including what makes Scientology a religion and not just a pseudo-scientific way of treating mental illness. First thing to cover. What did the place even look like? Well, from the footage, you can tell that the outside wasn't all that impressive, which shocked me because I came in expecting a giant, nice-looking building like I see in the photos from like California and stuff. Those churches are always massive and beautiful and just gorgeous looking. However, those are also all located where Scientology is most popular, has the most members, and also specifically the most wealthy members. Apparently, Scientology hasn't quite taken off yet in Philadelphia. The inside sort of reminded me of the blend of like a business or a bank lobby along with a bookstore. There was a reception desk, a waiting room with chairs and couches, and then some bookshelves with a bunch of different books and material you could read. And most of that material was by, yes, none other than L. Ron Hubbard, or at least adaptations of his work. And then there were stairs that led up to the counseling rooms and also like a sanctuary area, if you will. But we weren't allowed to go up there because at the current moment they were counseling people, and for privacy reasons I wasn't allowed to go up there. By the stairs there was a TV where you could learn more about Scientology. There was more books and some other trinkets as well, and which then led into like a hallway to a cafeteria break room area. And that was basically what the place looked like. It was pretty simple. Again, it very much reminded me of like a business lobby, essentially. Point 2. If you like these videos and you get value from them, leave a like and subscribe to help my mission to visit everything religion. No, just messing with you. I mean, I would love you to do that, but no. Point 2, seriously this time. Most things that take place in the Church of Scientology seem to require like an appointment of sorts for basically counseling services, for a lack of a better term. And this counseling is known as auditing, based on L. Ron Hubbard's theory of Dianetics, which leads us into point 3. Dianetics. Dianetics is the belief that the mind is made up of two main parts, the active mind and the analytical mind. The reactive mind is basically what it sounds like. It stores up memories, especially trauma and bad things that happen to you, and then just has instincts to react to certain triggers. Sort of like a survival mechanism, if you will. The analytical mind, on the other hand, is thoughtful and rational and more desirable, and is able to make good decisions rather than just simply react out of instinct. Again, especially trauma and stuff like that. So the goal of most Scientologists is to go from reactive mind to analytical mind, which leads us into point 4, auditing. Auditing is the process that people go through to become less reactive. So for instance, maybe someone was abused as a child and has anxiety issues, and they decide to go to an auditor at a Church of Scientology. What will happen is that they will lay on their back and allow themselves to be audited, which means the auditor will ask them to basically describe their memories in detail repeatedly. Meaning the person laying down will go over a certain memory from their past over and over and over again until it seems like the whole memory was fleshed out to the greatest detail possible. And if that memory doesn't uncover the root of the problem of their anxiety or what they're dealing with, they will move on to another memory that leads into the original memory they were auditing. And this process will be repeated until they find the core memory or the root of their problem. Basically, the incident in the past that helped start this issue. So going back to my example earlier, perhaps the person will land on a memory from their past of being abused by their father, and they realize from that point onward they had issues. And they're experiencing insecurity, and to find security, they have to resolve this base memory, resolve the issue at hand from this memory. So with the newfound knowledge of what the root of their problem is, they are now considered clear, which basically means the person went from reactive to analytical. The process of auditing is complete, if you will. So you might be wondering, why is this even considered a religion? It sounds more like a psychological practice of sorts. And whether or not it has strong studies backing the science or not, it still just sounds like a theoretical counseling practice. And that is our final point, point 5. How is all of this religious? Scientology's therapy and psychology is all based on L. Ron Hubbard's work. And within his many books and teachings, he taught that humans are spiritual beings, not just flesh and matter. And he also taught that humans are, in a sense, naturally good. And if made clear and analytical, they will enrich their spirit and become better people. Unlike psychology, and it's important to note here that L. Ron Hubbard despised the practice of psychology, at least the modern version of it, Scientology actually profess a set of spiritual beliefs sort of in line with Buddhism, or Eastern religions in general. Because of their belief in a spiritual realm and that people have individual spirits themselves, Scientologists are considered religious and not just psychologists. There's also a concept of exunu, and I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but basically aliens within Scientology lore. But it's important to note that some of these claims are played down by Scientology's website or denied outright, so take that for what it's worth. But basically what makes Scientology a religion, to answer the question, is that the founder of Scientology believed that humans had spirits, that there was a spiritual realm. He had religious beliefs himself, and most Scientologists then adopt the idea that humans have spirits that can be enriched and bettered by their practices. And because of that point, it is a religion. And there you have it. A very simple and quick overview of what makes Scientology and what makes it a religion as well. And most of this information came directly from the mouth of the guy I visited at the Church of Scientology, who was like a director of the place I was at. So it wasn't like I was just looking all this up on the internet, although I did a little bit of that as well. And I know I mentioned L. Ron Hubbard and a little bit about him. I didn't go into like depth about his background. Maybe I'll do that in another video, or maybe cover him on my podcast, Like the World, which you should also check out, description below. If you would be interested in that, let me know in the comments. Either way, thank you for watching, everyone. I'm glad you stuck around. Subscribe if you get value from these videos, and leave a like, all that good stuff. It helps these videos gain traction in the algorithm when you show engagement. And let me know in the comments as well, where would you like me to go next? What would you like me to visit or discover? Until then, farewell.